How's everyone, Nico here, and today we're going to be having a look at this. So this is Gigabyte's B850 Eagle Wi-Fi 6E motherboard, and yeah, let's get right into it. Alright everyone, so the reason I got this board is I want to use it as my test bench. Now you can see the test bench right over there, or the beginnings of it, and then over there's my main PC, and that's got the 9950 X3D in it, which I used to use as my test bench, but I moved from the Intel Core Ultra 9 to that, and this is going to be my test bench with the 9800 X3D. So that's the main reason for this board. I wanted certain features and it had it. So let's get right into this board. Let me quickly do an unboxing of it, see what you get inside, go around the board, and we'll have a bit of a chat about some of the features of this board. Right, so inside of the box we do get the motherboard first over there. Then after the motherboard we get some paperwork, some instruction manuals and so on. Then we get the easy Wi-Fi antenna. Then we get our SATA cables. Then we do get some screws for the M.2s. We get some stickers for the M.2s, and then we get our front I/O adapter plug type thingy. Alright everyone, so with it unboxed, let's quickly have a chat about this board and certain features. So first of all, it is a socket AM5, so you guys will need processors that will fit on the socket AM5. You can go on the Gigabyte site and you can see which processors is supported on this board. So one of the first features I want to talk about is the X3D mode. Now with X3D mode enabled, it's basically like a small overclock. Your X3D 9000 series processors as well as your non-X3D 9000 series processors will enjoy that small overclock, and they say in certain titles you can achieve almost like 18% improvement in performance, while you need to enable it in your BIOS obviously. The board also has great power delivery, and it has what they call digital twin VRM with 8 V-core phases, 2 SoC phases and 2 MIC phases. Everything is cooled with massive heatsink, so you don't need to worry about anything overheating or anything like that around the VR. Speaking of cooling, the board has 6 fan headers on it, and it has got 2 at the top, it's got 1 on the right side of the board, and it's got 3 at the bottom of the board. So you have more than enough fan headers to plug all of your fans. Powering the board, we do have an 8-pin and a 4-pin connector at the top of the board, and then we also do have our normal 24-pin. It also has 4 DIMM slots that support DDR5 memory in dual channel mode, and it can do up to 8,200 mega transfers a second. Now obviously this is dependent on the type of memory that you get, and also the support of the processor that you put on the board itself, and obviously how you're gonna overclock it and if it is allowed by that processor. Speaking of overclocking, if you do need to troubleshoot or debug, you can use the debug LEDs on the board itself, as well as there is a button on it that they call the multi-key button. Now you can configure this in the BIOS to do one of 3 things. The first thing is a RGB switch. The second thing is go directly into the BIOS, so you don't need to press anything on the keyboard or anything like that. Just press the button and it'll go into the BIOS directly. And then you can also program it to go into BIOS safe mode. One of the things that I would have liked to see is if you could just program it to be an on-off switch, because if I do it on a test bench, it would have been just nice to have the button there to put the PC on and off. But anyways, so for storage we do have a few options, starting off with the M.2 slots that we get on the board. We actually get 3 M.2 slots. The very top one is a M.2 PCIe Gen 5 slot that's got a nice beefy heatsink on it with the Easy Latch Click and also the Easy Latch Plus. So that is basically to click in the M.2 without using any screws, and as well as the heatsink right over there. At the bottom of that you get the PCIe Gen 4 slots that just basically screw in right over there. To expand even more, you also get 4 SATA ports on it for your normal drives or SSD drives or whatever it is you want to put in there. For the GPU, we actually do have a PCIe Gen 5x16 UD slot, and that basically stands for ultra durable, and it's basically a reinforced PCIe slot with a metal housing around the PCIe slot. With that, you also get the Easy Latch Plus that has a button that you can press to release your GPU, making it easier when you do remove the graphics cards, because they do get so big. You don't need to struggle to get your fingers in between there and open the latch and all of those sort of things. So that is a nice touch there. With that, we also get the 3 PCIe Gen 3x1 slots at the bottom of that you can use for, well, network cards and whatever you want to expand over there. For RGB, at the top we do have one ARGB header. At the bottom we've got two ARGB headers and just one RGB header right over there. For our front I/O connectivity, we actually do have one USB-C header that's running at 5 gigabits per second. Then we have a USB 3.2 Gen 1 connector inside of the box that obviously supports two connectors at the front. And then we also have two USB 2 headers. We have our audio header, and then we also have the normal stuff like reset switch and all of those sort of things that you can expect from. Having a look at the back I/O, at the top we've got a HDMI and DisplayPort. Then we have a Q+ button, so that basically means that we can update our BIOS with a USB without having actually a CPU installed. So below that we actually have a PS2 port for keyboard and mouse combo. Now this is nice when you do troubleshooting. You can actually use that port, and I've used it multiple times over the years being an IT technician. Next to that we have two USB 2s, and at the bottom of that another two USB 2s. At the bottom of that we've got a USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type C. Next to that we've got 2x USB 3.2 Gen 2s. At the bottom of that 2x USB 3.2 Gen 1s. Then we've got a gigabit LAN. We've got our Wifi6 Wi-Fi easy plug, which is, well, easy to plug it in. And at the bottom of that we just have our audio jacks. And there we go, everyone. That's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, it's just sometimes fun to watch a video about it instead of just go reading everything online. But yeah, if you are interested in this board, you can actually grab one from my affiliate link down below. And if you're in South Africa, you can also go and purchase it from Woodware. There we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll check you out in the next video. Cheers, everyone.